окей, ты держи. Bye.
At the beginning of the movie, we are introduced to Robert McCall, a soft-spoken employee at a Boston home improvement store called Mart. He's the kind of coworker everyone likes. Punctual, polite, always willing to help. Nobody at that store has any idea that Robert used to be a Black Ops operative, a man trained to kill efficiently and disappear without a trace. He buried that identity years ago, and now he just wants to live a small, quiet life. We're shown that Robert has taken a young coworker named Ralphie under his wing. Ralphie dreams of becoming a security guard, but he's overweight and out of shape, so Robert puts him on a strict fitness and diet plan. When Robert catches Ralphie sneaking fast food instead of sticking to the program, he doesn't yell. He simply reminds him, calmly but firmly, that dreams require discipline, and Ralphie needs to decide how badly he actually wants this job. Later, some of the younger employees ask Robert about his past, curious what he did before working retail. Rather than tell them the truth, he spins a harmless lie, claiming he used to be a dancer, and even throws in a couple of playful moves to sell the story. It's a small moment, but it tells us everything about how carefully Robert guards his real history. We learn that Robert struggles with insomnia. Almost every night, unable to sleep, he walks to a 24-hour diner near his apartment and reads from a worn paperback while sipping tea. It's there that he keeps crossing paths with a young woman working as an escort under the watch of a pimp. Night after night, they exchange small talk, and a quiet, unlikely friendship starts to form between them. The film makes it clear this woman hates the life she's trapped in. She dreams of becoming a singer, and one night, she even hands Robert a homemade recording of herself singing, almost like she's trusting him with a piece of who she really is underneath the life she's forced to live. Then comes the moment that flips the entire story on its head. One night, after the two of them walk home together and share a peaceful goodbye, men working for the Russian mob grab her off the street and force her into a car. When Robert returns to the diner days later hoping to see her, he's told she's in the hospital intensive care unit, beaten nearly to death. At the hospital, Robert doesn't go inside. He watches from a distance instead, but he corners her friend Mandy in the hallway and learns the horrifying truth. The girl was bought into this life as a child, has never truly been free, and the man responsible for controlling her, a Russian gangster named Slavy, is the one who put her in that hospital bed for trying to fight back. This is the moment something shifts inside Robert McCall. After days of visibly wrestling with what he's learned, Robert makes a decision. He walks into Slavy's nightclub, alone, and offers a stack of cash in exchange for the young woman's freedom. Slavy laughs it off. The money Robert's offering wouldn't even buy a month of her services, he says, treating a human life like a business transaction. Robert picks up his money and heads for the door. But he pauses. He locks it, unlocks it, locks it again, a small, almost mechanical hesitation before making an irreversible choice. Then he asks one simple question. How fast could he take out every man in the room? What follows is one of the most brutal, precisely executed fight sequences in the entire film. Using nothing but everyday objects and his own bare hands, Robert eliminates every single person in that club in a matter of seconds. When it's over, he calmly walks home and washes the blood off his hands like he's finishing a normal chore. This single act of violence is about to bring an entire criminal empire crashing down on him, and he doesn't even know it yet. Because Slavy wasn't just running a nightclub, he was working for a much larger Russian crime syndicate led by a man named Pushkin. When Slavy turns up dead, Pushkin sends his most dangerous enforcer, a cold and meticulous killer named Teddy, to find out who did it and make them pay. We watch Teddy investigate the crime scene and immediately recognize that this wasn't some rival gang hit. This was personal, precise, and professional. He questions a rival Irish crime boss named Looney about the murder, and when the conversation turns hostile, Teddy kills him too, without hesitation. Teddy then turns his attention to the girl's friend, Mandy, demanding to know who visited the hospital, asking questions. When she refuses to give him anything useful, Teddy tortures the information out of her, and then kills her anyway, cementing just how ruthless this new threat really is. Meanwhile, back in Robert's everyday world, he discovers Ralphie has suddenly quit his job. Concerned, Robert tracks him down to his mother's small restaurant and learns there was a fire the night before. It doesn't take long for Robert to realize the accident wasn't an accident at all. Ralphie's mother has been paying off 2 corrupt cops just to keep her business running, and when she couldn't pay this time, they burned the place as a warning. Robert doesn't explode with anger. Instead, he handles it his way, quietly filming the officers accepting a bribe, then confronting them with the footage. After a brief and one-sided physical altercation, the corrupt cops agree to return every dollar they extorted, and Ralphie's mother gets her restaurant back. Not long after, a robber storms into Home Mart, threatening the cashier and stealing a family ring off her hand at gunpoint. Robert doesn't intervene in the moment. He simply memorizes the robber's license plate. Later that night, using a hammer and quiet precision, he retrieves the ring and returns it to its rightful owner without a word. It's clear now, Robert isn't just some retired operative hiding from his past. He's becoming a protector for the people around him, an equalizer for anyone the system has failed. But while Robert is out righting small wrongs, Teddy is closing in. Using nearby security footage, Teddy identifies Robert as the man who entered Slavy's club and never came back out. He shows up at Robert's apartment posing as a police detective investigating a homicide, testing him with careful questions. Robert plays it cool, giving nothing away, but the second Teddy leaves, he realizes exactly who just visited him. He knows a real detective wouldn't have been able to track him down that easily. From this point on, Robert starts preparing his home with hidden surveillance, treating his own life like a battlefield he needs to control. The tension explodes days later when Teddy's men, disguised as construction workers, attempt to ambush Robert at a restaurant. He manages to identify the setup at the last second, fights his way past one of the attackers, and escapes, only to discover something disturbing. His attackers are actual dirty cops working for Pushkin's organization. When Teddy's crew raids Robert's apartment expecting to catch him off guard, they find it completely empty. Robert, watching everything unfold through his hidden cameras from a nearby building, realizes he's now several steps ahead of them, and Teddy realizes it too. Robert reaches out to an old contact, a CIA operative named Susan, and asks her to identify the man hunting him. She initially resists getting involved, but eventually gives him the full picture. Teddy is a former agent turned hitman working directly for Pushkin, a Russian crime lord responsible for a massive trafficking and money laundering network across the country. Even more shocking, some of the men trying to kill Robert are corrupt police officers on Pushkin's payroll. Armed with this information, Robert kidnaps one of those crooked detectives, a man named Frank Masters, trapping him inside his own car and forcing his cooperation. Masters eventually leads Robert straight to one of Pushkin's hidden operations, a meat processing facility secretly used to store and launder the organization's dirty money. Inside, Robert confronts the man running the operation, using nothing but calm psychological pressure to convince the guards to surrender without a single shot fired. He distributes the cash among the factory's underpaid workers and forces Masters to finally do the right thing. call it in, and turn himself over to real justice. The raid uncovers a hidden flash drive containing years of evidence, trafficking records, financial documents, and enough proof to dismantle Pushkin's entire American operation. With Teddy's operation crumbling around him, Robert tracks him down one more time, this time at dinner with one of his own men. Robert casually informs Teddy that his dinner companion isn't coming back from the restroom because he's already dead. Then he gives Teddy an ultimatum: walk away from this life completely, or the next meeting between them will be the last one Teddy ever has. Robert leaves, but the war isn't over yet, not even close. Back home, Robert digs through the flash drive and hands the evidence over to the FBI. He also learns about a scheduled fuel shipment tied to Pushkin's operation and plants explosives in preparation for what's coming. Furious after losing everything, Pushkin orders Teddy to eliminate whoever has been destroying his empire, no matter the cost. Teddy responds by doing the one thing guaranteed to draw Robert out completely. He takes Ralphie and several other Home Mart employees hostage, locking them inside the store and demanding Robert come alone. This is where everything collides. Robert heads toward the store, but manages to trick Teddy's tracking by rerouting his calls, buying himself crucial extra time. Inside, he quietly guides his co-workers to safety through the back service doors while Teddy's men search for him in the chaos. What follows is a tense, explosive confrontation throughout the store, flooded aisles from a triggered sprinkler system, a homemade explosive rigged inside a microwave, and a desperate final struggle between Robert and Teddy. In the end, Robert overpowers him using a nail gun, ending Teddy's reign of terror for good. 3 days later, we find ourselves in Moscow, where Pushkin, the man ultimately responsible for everything, is confronted by Robert in his own home. Pushkin tries to negotiate, offering money for his life. But Robert isn't interested in money. He's there for peace, the kind that only comes when men like Pushkin can no longer hurt anyone else. By the time Robert leaves, every one of Pushkin's men lying in his path has already been dealt with. Back home, life slowly returns to normal. The young woman from the diner visits Robert one final time to say goodbye. She's leaving the city for a fresh start, thanks to a mysterious envelope of cash and a bus ticket that showed up in her hospital belongings. She never learns it was Robert who arranged it all, and he never tells her. In the movie's final moments, we see Robert channel everything he's capable of into something bigger than revenge. He sets up a way for ordinary people to reach him when the system fails them, quietly becoming the protector nobody else was willing to be. And that's the story of the Equalizer. A man who spent years trying to disappear, forced back into a world of violence. Not because he wanted power, but because he couldn't stand by and watch good people get destroyed. If this breakdown kept you hooked from start to finish, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button right now. Seriously. It costs you nothing, but it means everything to this channel and helps us keep making videos like this one. And before you go, drop a comment down below and tell me, if you were in Robert McCall's shoes, would you have made the same choice? Let's talk about it in the comments. See you in the next one.